What up, dude? How are you, bro? Hey, how are you, bro? Mario Thomas. It's a dope name. Can I ask you a trading question? Ask whatever you want, bro. On this stream, you can ask whatever you want. And if I know the answer, I will answer it. And if I don't know the answer, I can point you in the right direction. I know you trade with Wix. I've picked up that you wait for the highs or lows to be broken and don't always take the weakest entries. Have you had more success with that? So, I trade based off momentum. What I've learned from Wix is how to read candles and how to identify momentum, right? Excuse me. So since I've learned to identify candles and I've learned to identify momentum based off Top Wix and the concepts that he teaches, I have developed my own entry type that is all of the concepts put together. So um so I've had more success creating my own entry type, yes. So the newer you are, the more you think you have to mimic your mentor to the T, but over time you'll realize that you'll start using their concepts and you'll start creating your own entries and start creating your own entry types and you'll start creating your not your own strategy because what you learned was from them, but you start basically creating your own system. And that's how it should be. So, depending on so you're looking at the candles at the 1 minute time frame, right? So I don't know. Let's say where's a trade that I would have taken right here. Let's say price broke this high here. I would have maybe had a what time is this? Is 4 o'clock. I wouldn't probably have done it at 4. Um, but let's say the break of the high, which is right here, that gets activated right here on this push. And then if we look at the higher time frame, let's see, something like the hourly. Come on, I don't see it no more. Depending on where this is located on the higher time frame, it looks like a wick entry. So I'm breaking down the candle all the way down to the 1 minute to enter on the 1 minute, um, based off the higher time frame pushes. What happened to XAU on Orlando? What? Why does it say Apple Nasdaq? What? What up, Jonathan? Options, Chamo? Oh, market mechanic. No! Forex.com, ACAP, Oanda, what happened? Wow. Damn, that really got you, market mechanic. Damn. Yeah, so I've been with Wix for and Don for 3 years now. The first year and a half, I was trading options, using their strategy to trade options, and then I switched over to futures and Forex. Like Bougie and Nate are good examples, right? How they developed in the chat the money printer based off what Wix taught us. Oanda chart is no longer. Yo, when Wix and Don give me their PO box, I'm gonna send them some fire shit. You guys are gonna see it on stream. What happened? Oh, and I forgot to pay the light bill, bro. Oh, and I forgot to pay the trading view bill. I just want to let you know I hit a PR today in the gym. Well, not a PR. I matched my PR from many months ago. And I just came off having the flu. I didn't think I would be able to do it, but I fucking killed it. I don't know if you guys deadlift. But if you do, have you ever seen 4 plates move this fast from a 160-pound person? I tried a third time and I failed. Failed. I'm telling you, by the end of the year, I'm gonna hit 500. Legs is tough. I hate doing legs. So market opened here. And it's just been trash. Damn, this thing had 20 concurrent viewers 2 minutes ago, and then 10 people just dropped off instantly. That's crazy. Bruh. What's up with people vandalizing Tesla? All you people are doing is making me want to go vote 3 times as harder for Donald Trump. All right, so let's get a breakdown going here. So far in the last few weeks, gold has been flying, right? So we have how many consecutive weeks before the last pullback? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of continuous bullish momentum. This weekly, though, does not have a bottom wick, and the previous weekly doesn't really have much of a top wick, which could lead to a higher time frame money printer, the same way that happened here on the Nasdaq. You see on the Nasdaq here on the daily, right? We had the money printer formed on the daily. What do we know? Usually that comes up to refill this entire wick. That's a pretty good target, right? We have the money printer here on the daily, price flipped bullish, and now we're coming up to maybe refill this entire wick with no top and no bottom. So something similar could be happening to gold, especially with the previous daily closing doji like this. No top wick, no bottom wick. That's the beginning of the weekly level right here. So we're literally having a daily money printer followed by a weekly money printer happening at these levels as well. So this could be the start of the bearish push, maybe retracing some of this movement. So we're getting the money printer set up on the higher time frame. So we just broke the trend here. We actually closed very bearish, but at support. So that's a little tough. Maybe we need a little more liquidity before driving down. Maybe this daily is going to give us a big top wick and then a push down. Maybe that's something that could possibly happen. But we are extremely bearish now. Not extremely bearish, but we are pretty bearish with the way that the daily closed doji and the way that the weekly is starting to come down for the flip with the previous weekly no top wick. So this could be the full range, and now we're coming back down to create a bottom wick, which would create a bearish weekly, the first bearish weekly after 5 weeks. So a pullback is looking pretty decent. So we just had a closure below range 1. We closed back into range, faking out. And then now we close back outside of range. So if we can get maybe another closure below here, or a push below, we could start looking to fill this area for 50 to 139 pips. That's like target 1. This would be the full target. You have clean range here. So let's see if we can start pushing down. $50 pips, bro. You're a savage. Hmm. Yeah, very strong support that we're respecting here. Yeah, I don't know if Rwanda got bought out or maybe they have their own funding. I don't even know how that works. Holy shit. You're gonna break the market open lows? And these levels are strong. What up, Jay? How was your day, Jay? Nice. I caught 200 pips on NQ today. All of my trades were on NQ. $200 pips on NQ is the same dollar amount as 100 pips on gold, but it's still pips. I have to use a smaller contract size on NQ, bro. I mean, look at this dump that we just had right now in 5 minutes. 200 pips. You gotta account for that. So look, this is a sell that I take 100% of the time, and I was just late on it. You see how we rejected the daily high here. We came down, formed support, came up, tried to break it, failed, came back, and then you see all the moving averages here. For some reason on the Nasdaq, when you get this little shit happening with all three of these, you get a fucking dump, dude, that confirms the range one, or the range one breakout after closing back below. So we made range one here for the sells. We closed back into range one after creating resistance here, closed back into it, taking sells here to fill the range, and this 100% confirms that. I don't know what it is about these moving averages, but on the Nasdaq, there's a reason why every Nasdaq trader that makes a shit ton of money uses it. I don't use that shit for gold. Am I late? Yeah, I'm late for that. Fuck. It looks like I'm late for that. Damn, I was wondering what that shit was. Then I forgot that I had a level on the Nasdaq. I'm like, why is the Nasdaq alarm going off? I didn't put a level there. And I did. That's 25 pips. Oh well. It played out. So this is where I have two decisions, right? I could have either held that and said, cool, if we flip bullish here, I'm wrong. But if we re-break the low, that shit's gonna fly. So I would have had one entry here. Oop. Depending on the time of day, right? I would have had one short entry here. And then if we re-broke the low, I would have stacked another entry at 25 pips in profit. What the fuck? So that's the next scenario if I would have held this trade. So this ran 25 pips, so I would have likely been a break even. But if it ran like a couple of pips and then pulled back, I would have had another sell stop on the break of the low and stacked in profit. If you can stack in negative, why can't you stack in profit? If you're looking for a breakout, think about this. I want you guys to think about this. You're waiting for a breakout. Boom, boom, boom. You take the trade. Break of the high here. Price pulls back, consolidates here, and then re-breaks the high. Is this not a lower high before the continuation? Buy stop. Holding this trade. And then you should get the boom. So this trade runs, I don't know, 20 pips. This trade runs 5 to 10. So in total, you collect 30 pips. Not bad. I've been doing that a bit lately, depending on what forms. And on the Nasdaq, it's been working very, very well. On the Nasdaq, the other day, I caught 98 pips for 2 entries. So just think about 50 pips instantly on gold for 2 entries, 100 pips in a 1 minute candle. Obviously, it can go against you, which is why in the Nasdaq you have to have short stops and trade it very diligently. Because if this were to pull back 200 pips instantly, I would have had to sit there and say, okay, is this a pineapple time or is this just a quick pullback before a continuation down? Say this 5 minute candle pulled back 118 pips before continuing down. Yeah, if I was more locked in on the Nasdaq, I would be continuing sells here. I'm kind of more interested in gold. Gold's at all-time highs, and we can get a decent move today if gold just breaks out of this range. What up, Chris? Yo, Chris. What up, Santos? You see that video I posted at the gym, dog? When we start going to EOS, we'll start going to EOS together. Yeah, I'm small. Brother, I lifted 2 of your moms there. I'm just kidding, bro. Don't kill me, bro. You know where I live. That's the joke. When everybody says, oh, that's not a lot of weight, I'm like, bro, that's 2 of your moms. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm not a pervert like you with mothers. Your mother is a beautiful lady. Yeah, you're a pervert. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Chris, I'm telling you, we're gonna be Lambo bros and deadlift bros. You gotta lock in, dog. Come on. We gotta be at the top together, my nigga. Oop. I'm not allowed to say that word on the internet. Let me know how that sauna is. Wasn't that hot? Damn. It was 160 at LA today. How many pips was that rejection? 37. I mean, this range is quite large. Is tonight gonna be a ranging night until 9 o'clock? Yo. What are you guys looking at? To me, I see this. You went at like 6 a.m. You're dumb. You should have went at 5:30, bro. You didn't know that ICT goes at 5:30, bro? Come on. Today was April Fool. Today is April Fool's, bro, and I fell for multiple fucking jokes. I didn't think the trading community would be on that shit. Some guy goes, "I'm longing the Nasdaq. I've never seen something more bullish in my life." And like 30 comments were saying, "That's actually very true. We're having a divergence on the MACD along with the triple reversal of the RSI on the Bollinger Band, blah, 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 blah." And then the guy goes, "April fucking Fools. Are you guys crazy?" He literally said the day before, "I'm putting my entire options account or some shit like that, and I'm selling the Nasdaq QQQ. I'm either gonna blow my account or buy a new boat." And the next day he goes, "Actually, I'm reversing my position and I'm buying." That almost got me too. I was like, what? I'm gonna sell on the Nasdaq right now, and a millionaire trader is about to go in some buys. No, nah, it's gotta be an April Fool's joke. And then my Nasdaq sell split out. I sold all of this and caught a little buy here. Levels, my levels. My levels, my levels. My motherfucking levels. Damn options. Your levels, bro. Chris, the Oanda chart is gone off TradingView. So if you have any levels or any back testing on there, you're figgity fucked. So if this flips bullish here, what are we bouncing off of? We got some support here. And support here. What kind of range we have on the break of the high here? 50 pips, not bad. Vamos a ver qué está pasando aquí. Someone told me that I should start talking in Spanish on stream. And I told them, listen, this is America. I don't speak that Mexican shit. I'm just kidding. I do speak it. I speak it very good. Speak it very well. I don't speak English good. The fuck? I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. It just took off. Drawdown, buddy boy. You're in big profits. Look at that. You're in insane profits. Shit, maybe I shouldn't have went to the bathroom. And then Nasdaq is dumping. Damn, I missed all the trades. I am sorry. I missed everything. I go into the fucking bathroom. That was the sell on the rebreak of the daily low, and that was 47 pips. On the Nasdaq, we filled the entire range. That was a perfect sell there that I missed. Now to take continuations down, I need to see a break, pull back, and then re-break, and that'll likely be towards 9 o'clock for that push. So I'll come back to the Nasdaq at 9. Now that gold has pushed here, and we're starting to push, we don't have a bottom wick on this 30, on the 15. But this 4 hour flip is decent off these lows. That brought us up to these wicks here before we pulled back heavy. Do we have any resistance before that? We do. We have this level before. So if we can get above this level, we can take continuations to here, which is 70 pips. And closing full for 17 pips. And you're a savage, bro. Take your trades every single time, no matter what. Be happy if you take a loss taking your trade. If that would have wicked you in and came all the way down and hit your stop loss, that was your entry. No matter what, take your entry every time. Every time you see it, take it. A loss, LMFAO. Listen, options. Listen. Not all of us can go on a 300 trade win streak like you, okay? We will get to your level one day. You just gotta let us be, dog. It's only 7 pips to this level. I don't like this. See how we made the high, came up, retested this little area, and then started coming down. This could be a very strong level, which is why I want to break above it to really confirm. I don't want to take buy stops into that level. Funny, we all admire something from each other and all want to do something. And that's exactly how you formulate your strategy. You take little bits and pieces from people that you see doing what you want to do. You see somebody catching 1,000 pips per trade, and then you're like, huh, what do you look at that you're catching that 1,000 pips? Maybe I can incorporate that, my entries, or maybe when I take my entry and I notice your long setup, maybe I can hold my entry for longer because maybe it's one of those where it actually drives really far. And that's one thing that I noticed. I'm like, huh, I'm taking my setups in a lot of the spots where market mechanic is taking his swing trades. So why am I closing for 10, 20 pips when he's holding for hundreds? Let me let these rock a little bit more. I would technically have a buy stop here if this wasn't here. Damn, chat. One thing that I forget to do a lot is get groceries. And I ain't got no water to drink.
When they give your account back.
At 5 in the morning. Bro, that's the thing that I forget. It's not that I don't have time to go get groceries, is that I forget. I got home at 6 and I'm like, bet if I drink my coffee now and I hit the gym, I can go to the gym for 45 minutes and then I can go buy some bud and go straight home and be home on time for stream. And I was timing myself. I got out of the gym on the dot. I went, I got the bud on the dot. Then I got home on the dot. And I'm like, fuck, I forgot to account for the water. Shit. Honestly, bro, driving a Jeep is annoying. I hate driving my car. It's uncomfortable. It's comfortable to sit and drive slow, but when I gotta make turns and shit, bro, the shit goes doing, 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 doing. This break of the high was valid, but my target here is only 7 pips away, bro. It's not. I would have had a buy stop a little bit higher. It would have activated me now. We could be super bullish. Those are good, right? They're like Hawaiian rolls, but they're freshly made at Sprouts. Oh, bro, Bougie, I forgot to go get the what you recommended from Sprouts, and I was at Sprouts and I got some bread from there. Yeah, I'm looking for a decent closure above this area, and then I can start looking for a continuation. We just have a 30-minute closure and a 30-minute close, no top wick, so we gotta be very careful. Look at the level where we just closed at. Yes, sir, my G. This could be a fake out here, so I want to wait. What is this, a 30-minute closure? 30-minute closure below the range. I need to pull back to these highs here before a continuation down. And pull back to those highs would also be pulling back into this range. If Nasdaq is going to continue down, it's not going to... That was clean. I can't hold these gold trades for like 70 pips, bro. They give me such anxiety to hold a trade that long. But like on the Nasdaq here, look, I'll show you my entry here where I was looking for sell stops that I was late. Where was it? Was it right here? Drove instantly 54 pips. Cut that in half, 25 pips. An instant 25 pip push on the Nasdaq. And then the next push down gave 115. Count that as 50 if it was gold. So you got 50 pips within 5 minutes on the Nasdaq. Whereas like this breakout, faked out, pulled back 30 pips, and then drove 50. And it's been like 30 minutes. So I love the technicality of gold and how all my trades play out. But I'm still a 10, 15 pipper on gold versus on the Nasdaq. I'm holding for much, much longer. Good news and bad news, gang. Which one do you want to hear first? Uh-oh. Let's leave that in the clubhouse. The mentor is speaking. Let's light it up for the news. We have news incoming. Discord. Hey yo, don't ruin it. Let the joke land. If it's a joke, let it land. Yes, sir. I need blues in the chat. Blues in the chat. Come on, Goldilocks. So gold just came down, created a bottom wick, and now we're about to flip bullish and break the highs. If this flips bullish and break the highs, we can look for continuations. We just got to be very careful with these levels here. So these continuation plays got to look clean, right? We have a high here that dumped us 134 pips in 20 minutes. That means that that's a strong fucking level for gold. So we have to be very careful, and that's market open. So that's not market open. Market open was this candle here. This was market close. I don't get it. Oh, I get it. Bad news is he's got new Wi-Fi, so no streams until the Wi-Fi's in. That's my guess. Yeah, Market Mechanic got fiber installed, and it was a pain. Hey. Oh yeah. Yeah, the 10-second rule is fine. It it'll it'll probably be like the trade that I took where I caught 800 pips in one trade. The third entry or the fourth entry, I had a buy stop, and that one popped and it hit 200 pips, and I closed all of the entries at the same time. So I don't think it would count as the 5 minute rule because the initial entry was at 5 minutes. But if my pineapple is closed within 10 seconds, like that trade, the pineapple in profit was closed within 10 seconds. I don't think I would have breached the rule, so that shouldn't be an issue. As long as they have a mobile app that's good, where I can manage on the road or like off my iPad. $5 minutes for this 15 closure. No top wick on this bottom, this 15, no bottom wick on the 15, and we are at a level of resistance after filling the range all the way back up. What is this? Is this the lower high before a continuation down? Huh? That could be a very high possibility. Finish rolling it. Look at this shit. People were protesting a Tesla dealership, and look at what I commented. Notice how they're all unemployed. Look at like, yo, people were protesting a Tesla dealership, and I decided to comment. Look at how they're all unemployed. Notice, and it's just got viral 200 likes. I posted another one, and it said that one got that one went pretty viral too. Well, what did it say? Oh, it was about the Ultra Rave Festival, and for some reason, all the people there looked all like fucked up, and I'm like, notice how they all look busted. And then the comment went viral, 200 likes.
What do you think we look like at a fucking rave?
No, I think that we looked much better. And then the people that looked hot when we were there, they just kept going and got fat. That's all that I know. That's all that I see. I see the same people going that used to go, but they're now 30 pounds heavier. Yeah, I'm not interested in raves anymore. Unless I can get like a nice VIP section. Wanka doodle doo. Alright. We might get that top wick that I wanted for a continuation down. That might happen around 9, like I was saying. Cool. We're frozen here. I would like to see if we reverse off this level. That would be interesting. W. Hank. You wanker. Ah, the Brits. Those are the days. Those are hilarious days. Listening to them all on stream. 15 just closed. We have it closed bearish. Just see if we can get a top wick and then a rebreak of the low. It can't take it without a top wick.
Yo, banca.
You have no idea. Sometimes when I take a loss on stream, I'm like, ah, fuck, bro. If I get off now, I'll look like a rage quitting little bitch. If I say I'm done for the day, I might miss another entry. And then I would have to end stream in 30 minutes. I can't look like a sore loser, bro. What kind of trader would I be if I rage quit after taking a loss? Rage quit the stream. And even though I want to say, all right, that's it, I can't take another loss tonight, I say, I'm gonna just keep fucking trading and forget what just happened. Bro, all those thoughts go through my head too, bro. You see me here composed and quiet, but in my head, there's like 10,000 thoughts running. And I'm like, all right, how much would I lose here? How much would I lose here? All right, so if I lose here, how much would need to make that back? How many pips would I need to make that back? Okay, cool. So if I lose 30 there, then I only need this many pips to make it back. Okay, cool. So this is forming proper structure now. Am I gonna add an entry or am I gonna wait a little bit? If this isn't formed nicely, then I won't add an entry. If it does form nice, I will add an entry. And those are the thoughts that go through my head nonstop. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, how much did I make today? How much if I were to lose this much, and that would put me at break even for the day, which is not bad. Okay, cool. I can risk a little bit more on this trade. And then nonstop, it goes through my head. Boom, boom, boom. I'm in drawdown, and I'm thinking about what the next candle's gonna do, what the next few candles are gonna look like. What would it take for price to drive up? Like if you entered a buy here, say you got wicked in. For a continuation, you want to see price respect these lows and continue driving bullish. So what would that look like? That would look something like price, if you took you in, price would have to respect this level and maybe break out like this. You would have to get something to form like this, right? If you're in drawdown and you see the low being respected, you see price starting to come back up, you know that you have a higher probability of your trade playing out. So you can say, okay, cool, it's forming exactly how it needs to. If price comes down to here, you can say, all right, where is it going to drive down from? Is it going to fake us out before driving up, which means it's going to drive somewhere into the middle of this range and then break back into range and continue driving bullish, right? If it doesn't break into range, where is the next level that it's going to be bouncing off of? It'll most likely bounce off of these levels all the way down here. So what needs to happen? Price needs to trickle down all the way like this, form support here, and then bounce bullish. So I know, oh shit, maybe I'm going to be in drawdown for much longer. And I started anticipating what the candles need to look like to get the trade that I need. $10 minutes. This is the 30 flipping bullish to give us a high, but we have a strong resistance here at the daily high. This could pop up and give us that move that we're looking for. If it is going to continue, it'll give us the push to this range here. And we'll be able to catch the 40 pip push. Ten minutes. Shit. We got 9 minutes here. Don't do the push now. Do the push at the hourly. Come on. I gotta wait for this hourly closure. I can't get in here 8 minutes before the closure. It's all good. I haven't taken a trade tonight. The only trade that I would have taken was this one right here, but I went to the bathroom. And when I came back, price was already breaking these highs. Yeah, so look, this is what I'm looking at, right? If we get this hourly closure above here, right, and the hourly comes down, creates any kind of bottom wick, it doesn't really need much of a bottom wick. But if we get that closure above on the hourly, we get a decent, depends what the structure looks like on the 1 minute, but we can take buy stops on the break of the daily high. Lately, Asians have been running gold up pretty far. So if we do break this 4-hour high here, along with the daily high at 9 o'clock, we could see a very strong push up. So I'm going to wait and wait for the better position to try to take the push at 9.
That's fine.
Yeah, was it? Oh, I forgot you were here. I usually put it out for myself and go every like 3 minutes. Got more? Damn, this comment just got another 20 likes. People are commenting like crazy. They're calling me stupid, and there's people defending me. We need the pullback though. We need the top weight to be created on the. So look, now that let's say if you were in a buy right and now you're in drawdown, what do we need to happen, right? We need the hourly to close the top wick so that we have something to fill. We need price to pull back, tap a bottom for a bottom wick somewhere, so we can maybe identify these areas for the bottom wick. So if price closes somewhere around right here, we pull back down to these levels and then we flip bullish and then re-break the high. that is perfect for continuations to break the highs, but that has to happen on the hourly. But let's say the 1 minute starts to come down and then the hourly opens and then the hourly shoots up. I might still take buy stops even without that hourly bottom wick, because that hourly opening candle on gold is fucking massive usually. And if it starts from anywhere here, I would assume it's going to be at least a 50 pip candle. So if we break the daily high here at like 20 pips, we can have a TP anywhere at like 20, 30 pips to fill this range here. Because I'm still thinking gold's a little bearish. I would prefer gold to be bearish. I don't want to be biased, but I would prefer for us to continue bearish, right? I mean, this is literally the celery forming right now to fill the range for a continuation. But I would prefer it to tap this resistance and then flip bearish and start coming down here. Similar to what happened here. How we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days and then we got a pullback. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days and we're starting to form maybe a minor pullback. So I would like to see a pullback to these ranges here. That would be really, really nice. If we start getting back to these wicks here, bro, buys full set. Have a good night, bro. Wherever you're going, get there safely. $30. I would have closed break even here if I was in some buys. Those 2 5-minute no bottom wicks annoy me. You know, gold coin this big would be $3,000. Wick, 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 wick. Leaving my AC on all day on accident. My fucking electric bill's gonna be fucking expensive. You turned it down, you faggot.
I did. Niggas hot as fuck.
That's what happened, you pussy.
I honestly wasn't listening to you. I just turned it up.
Bro, I feel freezing.
Nigga just turned.
It
Just turned on.
Yeah, it's cold. 1 second. I didn't know. I'll turn it on in a second. It needs 5 minutes to cool down. I'll hold the cold for you. Blontazo, pásalo. It needs to pop. If it goes like this, it doesn't pop and it's starting to bounce back and forth, and you're having an hourly closure come up, you're better off closing and letting it rock, letting it play out, and then getting the better entry. Because if you hold it through the hourly closure, what if that hourly pops up and you were in a sell? You would have been like, ah, fuck, I should have closed. If it dumps down and it gives you money, then you're like, oh, cool, instant money. But how do we know what's going to happen during this hourly closure? These Asians are unpredictable. So, I mean, For that 9 o'clock closure, watch 1 second. Let's see what happens. I have a buy stop. Are the Asians gonna bring any volume in? What does a window look like? Yeah, I'm gonna delete that and see what happens here. Asians only gave us 20 pips on this top wick. You guys are sus. That couldn't even have been a money printer. This was a money printer. The next one's about to be fire. Blueberry. What's up, Thomas? I don't know, man. We got a lot of resistance here. It's much higher here. And the candles start popping. That's what I want to see. I want to have a buy stop here. That slipped me. Well, there's a lot of volume in that push. That slipped me 6 pips. It's all good. And that's 15 pips TP. We waited 2 hours for 3 pips of drawdown and instant TP. That should have been 20 pips, but it slipped me 5 pips. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. What did it do on gold here? Here it did 37 pips. Nice. Is the Nasdaq dumping here? It's not. It's rejecting and reversing. I don't like that. We waited 2 hours. We let positions go. We were patient. We took our time. And we caught the second best move of the night. The first best move was this initial push here that we missed, but look at that, bro. Look at these closures and these entries. Pull up. Pull up. 23 concurrent viewers tonight. You guys are savage. You guys are savage. You guys are savage. I've never seen a more savage chat, a more savage trading Discord member family than DVS, bro. Than Wix9's Discord, bro. And we got another hour here. Patience, 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 man. Patience, patience, patience. Every day, the charts will prove to you over and over why you have to stay patient. We didn't really need much of a bottom wick on that hourly. That 9 o'clock push is is savage. See, we didn't even get a much of a bottom wick. That's why I had the initial buy stop there after that high was created. Hey, I appreciate you, Omar Mohammed, for subscribing. Your name's now going to be up there, up on the stream. For continuations, right, you want to see a drive, you want to see this happen, and then a drive out of that. So we're at a key level, right? If we can get this to form here, and then a rebreak of the high, that would be the cleanest push. Because what's really driving us now in the Asian market besides just volume? No bottom wick here, and look at all these levels here to my left that we're breaking into. So like when that 9 o'clock open, that shit gives you insane volume. And I took advantage of that volume already. So the next push would have to be a higher time frame closure kind of push for the next kind of volume. 15-minute break of the high, a 15-minute closure above. $56 pips from entry. That's beautiful. That's why I didn't close anything. I let it go, hit my take profit. It had to reach that level minimum. If I didn't have all these resistances here to my left, I could have taken that rebreak of that high. If we had clean 5-minute range here on our way down, I could have taken that. But look at all the resistance that we have here. All the resistance that we have here. I don't like to take wick entry sells unless we're in a bearish market. So I would like to see something form. Let me use the bathroom real quick. Your fucking ugly ass knees out of my way.
What's my name?
Stop that. He pulled it down. He knows how to do it, bro. Maggie. He knows exactly how to pull that shit down. What a bitch. I'm gonna attempt another buy stop here. If this low gets broken, I'm deleting it. $30 on this 5. We're in there. Now that's a hard pop. My spreads are high there. That was 7 pips. Yeah, that's a break-even trade. They can pull back and take me out here. Yeah. There's too much resistance here. That was 12 and I only saw 4 pips on that. When I see something like that, where I actually had 12 pips on there, and it only showed me 4, I don't like that. That shit sketches me out. It makes me not want to be in the trade. Look, we just had a 5-minute closure, no top wick, money printer starting to set up, yeah. If this low gets broken, it's completely invalid. The buy stop there. Yeah. Dunzo. Not interested in those buys. Unless this is like a little minor fake out. could be. Let's see. What's up, SL? How are you? That was some good risk management, if I do say so myself. If this was New York, I would have maybe held it for longer. I would have not gone break even there. I would have let it pull back, and then I would have had a buy stop on the rebreak of the high here with one entry already running. So the first entry would be up like 11 pips. The second entry would re-break the high, and then the second push, you would have one entry in profit, and then both entries in profit. Yeah, we took one 15 pip trade earlier, and then I took a break-even trade here. It ran like 12 pips, and then it pulled back too fast for me to see anything to close. My TP was right here, so it was off by like 3 pips on my TP. Yeah, a rebreak of the high here would make us hit this, so now I need a closure above here, and then for a continuation. Here it gave us 15 pips. Still looks clean here for a continuation. Maximum to here, which is 20 more pips. Let's wait for this dirty closure. What up, Omar? Two minutes for the 30 closure. $30-minute candle close. No bottom wick. Candles pushing first up. It closed above all these ranges here. This isn't the 9 o'clock open. I need a bottom wick here. Yeah, this isn't the 9 opening, so I need a bottom wick. I can't set a buy stop here. Someone else is in sells and they never lose. Good for them. Jasmine from Aladdin. She's got the magical genie. And look at that rebreak of the high. Without that 30-minute bottom wick, I can't take this. Let's see if it would play out. Yep, it would have played out regardless. Well, that Jasmine FX is in drawdown while my entry would have played out. But without that 30-minute bottom wick, I can't take that. Look at that. 30-minute no bottom wick and never came back for it. I can't take that. That would have been an instant TP trade. Activated and TP within the same minute. If this flips, let me delete all these lines. If this flips bearish, where are our resistances here? Not. What did we tap? We do have a lot of 15-minute resistances here. I'm gonna have a sell stop here. That's 10 pips. $25 pips for the session. I was contemplating between the 15-minute wick here as my TP or the 5-minute support here as my TP. And because of how hard the 30-minute flipped, a good in-between was pretty decent. But I saw how we barely tapped my TP and pulled back for like a quick second. So I just manually closed that because I was going to decide to move it down 5 more pips to the center of these two ranges. But that was a good trade. We needed that 30-minute bottom wick. If we respect these levels now and start to flip bullish, we can look for more buys to fill the range up. That would be mimicking the move that happened here. And if we're bullish, we shouldn't see much more of a dip below these levels here before continuing up. Oh, yeah. The ideas with the buys were the same as the sells here, right? We got this movement here, the break of the highs, this movement here, the break of the low. This is what I was looking for it to pop up to hit my TP here. Yeah, bro, that's one thing that my trading plan has shown me, that when I'm more patient and I kind of let some moves pass and I just wait until I really get that feeling that everything is there that I'm looking for, right? And I just wait, because sometimes I see like half the things or like 80% of the things of the confluences, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna miss the trade, and I market execute, and then I get screwed. But it's always worth the wait. That's something that I have to keep repeating to myself. It's always worth the wait. I'll tell you my biggest day. I got 800 pips, bro, in one trade last week. You're like, how the fuck did that happen? Just pretend we're at the lows here. I took a buy here. We pulled back. I took a pineapple here. We broke the high here. I took a buy stop, 3 entries. Pulled back. I took another pineapple here. This candle here was a 1-minute candle and it drove 195 pips. 195 pips, putting my average was like right here, and it put all 4 positions at 195. Instant. And it was no news. It was like the end of the hourly candle on the Nasdaq. Yeah, on the 300k eval. Had that been on my PA, that would have most likely breached the daily max target that you can make, the 30%. Because 4 entries, 800 pips, that would have been $1,600 on the PA, which would have breached in a second. That's the beauty of waiting. And it was 10 o'clock, bro. I had no trades all day till 10 o'clock. And I caught that one. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, bro. The pudding is in the proof. So because let's say I would have made 1,600 in a day, then I would have needed to multiply that by 3 to request a payout. So then I would have needed to make 4,800 instead of 3,000. You see? That's where the 30% rule screws you. But it's all good. This 300k is going to be lit. This 300k is going to be lit. What? Eddie took Jasmine's signal. Nice. What? No, Jasmine was in drawdown before these sells happened. Jasmine took some sells down here, and Jasmine was in 41 pips of drawdown. Jasmine is right now in 14 pips of profit, whereas I'm already Gucci Bambucci out of the Coochie. I'm out. Earlier, when he said Jasmine said sells, price was here before the break of the high here. So if she took a sell here, she was in 40 pips of drawdown before being break even right now. What's her name? Jasmine the Tweaker? I'm just kidding. Sorry, Jasmine. Sorry, Jasmine Rice. Damn, Alfredo, I just got another 100 likes. 300 people liked it now.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? I posted a comment, bro, and within the beginning of stream, it had like 100 something likes, and now it's at 300. Get that 15-minute closure before the break of the lows. 15-minute closure before the break of the lows. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Freeze right here. Give us a top wick and then a rebreak of the low, and we in there like swimwear. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. This is the sell stop I was looking for. But I can't do that with 30 seconds left here. $30 seconds left. Let's see if we can get one last hurrah. $15 closing bearish. If we can get a top wick, I don't think we should necessarily have to break this 5-minute high for it to be valid. Okay, volume, volume, volume. Volume. Whoa. Now dump. Perfect top wick. Now dump. That's perfect. What is this? The FVG? Did we just tap the FVG? Let's not invert it. Let's dump it. No inversion. Let's get a dump version. ICT, manipulate this down. Who's an ICT trader? I was afraid of that, bougie.
Oh, you fucking AC. I'm sweating.
Oh yeah, I forget. Don't drive now. Flip bearish. This is where it needs to flip bearish at. This accidentally just tagged bougie in and flipped bearish right now. I'm not just trying to catch 10 pip moves like on the Nasdaq. The sells here, the sell stop 2 pips below. That's still 41 pips of range. Who cares if I miss out on 2 pips? I got the perfect confirmation. That extra couple pips just gives me more confirmation that it's going to keep going. I'm willing to risk a couple of pips. Come on, 5 minutes left. Let's see if we can get a trade on this pullback here for the hourly closure. The 30-minute closure would be closing doji here. The 15 would be closing this, respecting this resistance. Let's see. You can get a head and shoulders here. That would be clean. Sell stop on the break of this low, break even. I gotta get back on the MT5 wagon. Oh, people are having debates under my comment. They're having gay and anti-vaccine comment debates under my comment. Holy shit. Some guy goes, just because you think it's gay doesn't mean you're anti-vaccine or pro flat earth. Like, what is going on? Milo, we got 9 minutes. I'll take you out in 9 minutes. Chill out. Now, Wix9 dropped some news in the Discord. The bad news is his Wi-Fi is better than my trading service. And the good news is you gotta hop in the clubhouse to read it. Yeah, thank you. Take his pamper off.
No shit.
This yawn was real. A real Wix9 yawn. Am I right or am I right? Gays are pointless since the point of being Earth is to procreate. Alright, bro. Chris D'Elia had a funny fucking joke. No, the rest isn't jokes. I finished it. The rest isn't jokes. The rest is him going on a monologue talking about therapy and how he almost killed himself and shit. Wild. That's the goal. The goal is to get paid, bro. I'm not trying to look for too many accounts. Look, I'm gonna do some quick math here. You have a 300K account. And you're making 10% every month. That's 30,000. You don't need 40 of these. You can multiply that by 40. That's the max accounts you can have. But the goal is to get here first, then the scalability comes in, right? I can't keep rushing myself trying to get to 10 million in funding and all these millions in funding, and I just gotta milk these accounts and get paid. The goal is to not have a million accounts, just to get paid. Outside. What's the deal here, man? Hey, that Michelle girl or the Shelly girl or the what the hell's her name? Whatever. She's in drawdown. Come on, Michelle. Stephanie, where you at? Four minutes here. Are we gonna dump these last 4 minutes? I'll tell you what, the only reason that I might not be super interested in that is because of the platform. I won't be able to copy trade to my other accounts. But it's very interesting. I would 100% support. How many pips of drawdown would that be? 45 pips of drawdown? Sheesh. Maybe the money printer here for 15 pips out of 45, but that still wouldn't be break even. So an entry here at the right shoulder. The thing is that if we break this high right now, right? Right before the hourly closes, you're looking at a top wick and a flip bearish for the money printer somewhere up here. And that gives you 80 pips of drawdown. If you're in 3 entries, that's a lot. We have to respect this high and dump. If you push here for the next 2 minutes, so if you give yourself a top wick, right? You know that you're gonna come down for a bottom wick somewhere around these lows before flipping bullish. And if you have 2 entries here, on the pullback on this hourly, you'll be out in profit. But if this hourly does push all the way to the top of the range and close with no top wick, that's the money printer. And then money printer top wick would be at the next hourly level, most likely, before coming back down. Which would kind of fucking suck. If this is the daily high, we're not going to break this level. And we're going to make a high close to the daily high and continue down. If it's the daily high and we're going to start coming down from this level now. So you see that we respected this and we came back down into range. So that gives you good indication that we're respecting this level and we might be coming back down to get a nice bottom wick on the hourly. But anything can happen in 45 seconds, bro. So that's how deep I break down every candle closing back and forth. If we are to be at the daily high, and this is going to be 100% the daily high, it will not break this level because that's the daily high. The daily high will not be broken unless a new daily high forms. I really want this to be a right shoulder so I can take sells below these levels and continue down. Hourly just closed. We closed with a top wick. We're coming up first. 30-minute close bullish. 15-minute close bullish above the range. We have no bottom wick on this 15. And this hourly has no bottom wick. So depending on where this top wick is, and a flip bearish might not be bad to get some orders down at the bottom of this range. Hourly needs that bottom wick before flipping. Hourly needs to come down. In the case that the hourly doesn't do that and gives us that top wick first, on the flip back down, we can look for sells. It is an ugly closure, but think about it. The more ugly you get inside of the range, the more probability you're going to get of this respecting the resistance and it coming back down into range. So if we do start getting more closures back inside of the range, it kind of tries to break the highs and then flips back into range, we can look for entries to fill the rest of the range down because this is a 50 pip range and we can catch maybe half that. So whenever I see closures like that, I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to start to range now and we can take a sell off resistance back into range. Yeah, this is a very strong level, but our next level is all the way up here, so would you be willing to hold that? Maybe. Depends on what your entries are, but this drove 40 pips and then pulled back 22. So that would have been a break even with wick entries. So with the way this closed, no bottom wick on this hourly is coming up with no bottom wick as well. If the momentum continues and we tap this resistance, it will dump and continue to come back down. But it depends, are you willing to hold that many pineapples in drawdown? Which would be like around 200 pips. Ideally, you would take a loss and then wait for the money printer and then stack on the money printer back down. No. We haven't came down to the EMA at all. This is a very strong level of resistance. So you're still good anywhere in this range to reject, bro. It's just we've broken into a 124 pip range. 135 pips. You're still good to reject anywhere here. This is one of those areas where if like you close on the break of the high, this taps this wick and then dumps the next hour. But I'm gonna call it here, gang. I'm gonna call it here. 24 pips for this session. The only thing that I would manage risk at is at these next hourly levels. Hourly levels are key, and that's where I would be looking. If I had a sell here and I was in drawdown 49 pips, I would have taken a sell right here. Here. That average, if it does drive up here, that would be 78 pips of a drawdown across two positions, 150 pips before the third pineapple, and then you should get a pullback to at least this bottom area of the range here, which would put all your positions in profit and this one at break even. So you still have a third pineapple entry here. This is where I would have broken down my pineapples, if this helps. I don't want to throw you off, obviously. So if what I'm saying might throw you off, don't even look at it, bro. But this is where I would spread out my pineapples. I like this level here, which is the daily high. Good night, broski. Thank you, Eddie, for the stream. Much love. I'll catch up in the morning. Yes, sir. See you in the morning. I appreciate you guys for showing up. We had a banger session tonight. 25 concurrent viewers tonight. That's a pretty good night. Take it easy, everybody.